why would your dad get you this? And she just said, I asked for a radio and he bought me a gun. I felt like he wanted me to myself. I thought I would tell a story about Brenda Spencer. She was born in 1962. She lived in San Diego. So at 16 years old, she had bright red hair. So her parents separated and she ended up living with her father. So his name is Wallace. They lived in poverty. They didn't have any furniture in the house. They had one mattress in the home and that's where they slept. They shared the bed. Wallace, the father, he wasn't around much. He was verbally abusive and her mother was just completely disconnected. So in school, Brenda was like the bad girl. Acquaintances said Brenda expressed hostility towards policemen and had spoken about shooting one and had talked about doing something big so she can get on television. So Brenda ended up going to a continuation school. And when she was there in 1978, one of the faculty members at the school would talk to Brenda and Brenda would express how she was very depressed and she wanted to kill herself. The faculty member had to tell Brenda's father about this, but instead Brenda's father just denied it. She's not depressed. What are you talking about? Like, she's fine. So Brenda, who was known to hunt birds in the neighborhood, she was arrested for shooting out the windows of Cleveland Elementary with a BB gun. She said she was trying to hunt these birds. And then she also got arrested for burglary. She broke into someone's house. We don't know why. But after that, she was on probation and she had to go check in with a probation officer. And in December, she got a psychiatric evaluation. It was arranged by her probation officer. And he recommended that Brenda be admitted to a mental hospital for her depression because she had expressed how depressed she was. But her father had to give permission for her to go and he refused to give her permission. The people around her are seeing the signs that she's not doing well and they're trying to get her help, but her father is just refusing any kind of help for her. So then Christmas 1978 rolls around and Brenda just wanted a radio. On Christmas Day, she gets her gift from her father. Sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm just like laughing in disbelief. He ends up getting her .22 caliber rifle, perfect for a 16-year-old. Love that. In an interview later on, they asked Brenda, like, why would your dad get you this? And she just said, quote, I asked for a radio and he bought me a gun. I felt like he wanted me to kill. So then Monday, January 29th, 1979 rolls around. Brenda doesn't feel well, so she decides to stay home from school that day. Her father wasn't home. He was out doing whatever he does. It was still early that morning, like there was a elementary school across the street. She grabs her rifle. She's sitting by the window. She sees all the kids outside. And all these kids would wait outside the gate. And then the principal would come, open up the gate, and then all the kids would go into the school. Brenda decided to take her rifle and point it outside the window. And sadly, she started shooting at the kids and the principal and anyone she could that were just standing around. She ended up injuring about 8 students. She ended up killing a faculty member that was just trying to protect and help the children. Then she killed a custodian that was trying to help the faculty member that she shot, and the principal got shot and he ended up passing away. A police officer finally shows up, and when he shows up, he was shot in the neck. Brenda ended up firing 30 rounds or over 30 rounds. And then after she fired the 30 rounds, she ended up barricading herself inside her home for nearly 7 hours. While she was in her home, she had a telephone conversation with a journalist who reported why she had done it. And when Brenda was asked why she did it, I kid you not, her response is gonna piss you off. Her response was, I don't like Mondays. This livens it up. When I read that, I was like, what? She later also spoke with police negotiators, telling that those she had shot made easy targets and that she was going to come out shooting. After being in her home for 7 hours, she eventually came out and she was arrested. Obviously. Brenda was tried as an adult and she pled guilty to 2 counts of murder and assault with a deadly weapon. She was sentenced to prison for 25 years to life. And while in prison, Brenda was diagnosed with epilepsy, and she received medication to treat her epilepsy and depression, and she stays at the institution for women in Chino, California. So she's been in prison, right? And then in 1993 she was eligible for parole, and this is where like Brenda starts to tell more of what happened, like why she did it, whatever. In the parole hearing, that's where she said like her father was molesting her since day one. Like he had been molesting her all of her life, and that's why he never wanted her to go anywhere, pretty much. And that's why they slept in the same bed, and it was an ongoing thing that the day of the shooting she was on a bunch of pills. That's kind of what made her do it, which I thought was a stupid excuse, but whatever. And her father, he didn't deny these things. The parole board chairman said that she had never made these allegations before. She had never said that she had taken or that her father had sexually molested her. So they didn't even know like if it's true or not. They don't know what to believe, and they kind of like highly doubted it. And then in 2009, the parole board ruled Brenda would be denied parole and she would not be considered for the next 10 years. And so what that means is in 10 years, she would be eligible for parole again. Brenda had said that like, you know, she was severely depressed. She wanted to get help for her depression. She had a father who was abusing her, and that she just wanted to die. That was her reasoning. She said she took a bunch of pills that day. She was trying to kill herself, and then she decided that she saw like police officers outside of the school. So she decided that she was going to take the gun and try to shoot at the police officers, not like hitting them, but like at them to get their attention. So then that the police officers grab out their guns and then shoot back and kill her. Like that was her plan. It just doesn't make any sense. But that was her reasoning, and she like stands by that, and it was just really stupid and frustrating. The wife of the principal, the one that passed away, I think this was an interview from like 2009. For the parole hearing, she made like a videotape expressing that she did not want Brenda to get out. And the videotape also showed that this wife's house, like it's still exactly the same as when her husband left that morning. Like this was many years later, and she hasn't touched any of his stuff. Like everything is exactly the same, and how she's struggling and how Brenda took her husband away from him and like ruined her life, which I completely understand. Does not want her to get out, and that definitely like helped persuade them. Well, it didn't really help Brenda's case at all. When somebody's house turns into just like a memorial, it's just more sad, because you know that they're having a very hard time moving forward with their life, and they're kind of just stuck in this time. Later on, Brenda was also diagnosed with schizophrenia and depression, and she still is in the prison. She's up for parole this year, so I'm curious to know what's going to happen. I hope she doesn't get out, because when I was reading the interview with Brenda, it seemed like she just really didn't understand like what she did. Her father ended up dying, and her mother, nobody knows where the hell she's at. She wasn't claiming that. That was her daughter. I hope you have a great day today. You make good choices. Be safe out there, okay? See you guys later. Bye. Thank you.